Okay, so welcome you all, and my today's topic is like deploying static website with MkDocs and Netlify. So these are the two components which I'm going to explain you today, and we will create a small website, kind of a personal website, and we will deploy it on Netlify. So basically, how many of you knowing HTML, CSS, JavaScript? Can you just raise your hand?
You can type in the chat box also, students. Okay, you can raise your hands also.
Okay. So in this particular MkDocs, we don't have to write any kind of code. We just need a content, okay, for the website. So basically, MkDocs is nothing but a Python library, which will create or which will able, you'll get a chance to create your personal website as well as what you can say the documentation for your project. Okay, so I'll just go. So this MkDocs is a Python library for generating, beautiful configurable static site or the documentation for your project. In the way we will write is in a Markdown. So if you're knowing Markdown or MD files, or if you're aware about the GitHub's README file, so they are written in the Markdown. Okay, so it's kind of a documentation style. And this Netlify is a platform as a service where you can publish your website as well as your Python application with the help of any kind of Git provider. In the sense, we can have a GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. So I'll show you with the help of a Bitbucket today. The next part is like how we can set up the MkDocs environment. So obviously we have to create we have to have the Python 3.6 version on your system, and some Python packages we need to install. Okay, so I already have Python 3.7 here on my machine, and uh, I need some libraries like the MkDocs. So how we can install a Python libraries like pip install and then MkDocs, and then one more or two more rather libraries I need like pip install MkDocs material. This MkDocs is basically to create a basic structure, but if you can see, this is the theme which is I have applied over the basic side. So that is a material design theme that comes with this MkDocs hyphen material library. And there are some, if you observe here, there are some emojis and external links I have used. So for that I need this extension where I have to write, some emojis kind of or other icons I have to add. Then I have to just install this. So these three libraries are made with the plus what Python 3.6 version. Okay. So how we can install, and this will give you uh, a basic structure you can create with the help of this. So just let's start with this. Before that, how we can create a new site. So once we have this MkDocs on your system, we can create the new site with the help of MkDocs command. So the command is MkDocs space new, which will allow you to create a new website. So this website can be replaced with your own name. Okay. So, this will create MkDocs new and the folder called as docs. Okay, and which will create some basic file like the MkDocs YML, which is the configuration file, or you can say the heart of this whole project. And then this initial documentation kind of creates a docs folder. In that, it will create a index.md file. Okay, so I'll just go and create this particular thing. So before that, I'll just create here a new folder, say website, or rather creating a new folder. I'll just open here command prompt. Then first I have to activate my Python environment here. So I'll just activate it. If you can see here, my Python environment, where all my libraries are installed, is activated and it is showing. Now, how we can check that? So pip list is the command whether you have installed all the libraries or not. We can check with the help of this pip list, which will list all the packages, all the Python packages for you. So if you can see here, MkDocs is installed on my system. Material MkDocs is also installed, as well as yes, this extension is also installed, and it is showing you the versions also. Just go here and create a blank or empty website. So the command is like MkDocs space new space website, which creates a blank or empty website. You can see here. So this is the folder created just now. We'll just go here in that particular folder, cd website, and I'll open an editor over here, which will show you some files for you. So I'm using here Visual Studio Code, and if you can see here on left hand side, I'll just zoom in. On left hand side, you can see the project architecture. So here it will show you the folder called as docs and the MkDocs YML file. Okay, so this is the basic structure created with the help of just one command, which is nothing but MkDocs space the name of the website. Okay, we just go over this my documentation and we'll see what is next. Okay, so obviously, which gives you two files, mkdocs.yml and the folder docs. So docs will include the index.md file, that is the documentation file, and this mkdocs.yml, which gives you what you can say the configuration file. Okay. Now the next thing is how we can preview our website. Okay. So I'll just go and type this command mkdocs.serve. So basically mkdocs comes with a default development server, which will allow you, to uh, view or preview your website uh, on localhost and some kind of port which is nothing but 8,000. Okay, so I'll just go here to new terminal. I'll just type that command here, mkdocs space serv serve, and that's it. This will serve the website at a particular address, so we just have to follow this. Okay, so this is the basic structure created we have not written any kind of code here. This is just a basic structure which I have shown you. So what steps we have followed, we'll just go again and see. So we have installed some libraries into my environment, Python environment. Then we have followed these steps called as MkDocs space new website, which will create an empty, what you can say, project structure with two documents like MkDocs YML, which is the configuration file, and index.md, which is nothing but a document file. And then this preview website will, with the help of this serve command, that is mkdocs space serve command, we can visualize this particular part on your localhost. Okay. Now, next part will be how we can configure and customize your site. So for that, uh, we have to do some modifications into mkdocs as well as index.md file. So So the first part now is how we can name your site. Okay. So I'll just go in that folder structure and we'll show you how we can just name that site. So this is my mkdocs.yml. You just have to double click. If you can see here, this mkdocs.yml comes with only one line, that is site name colon my docs. Okay. And if you see here, this name is reflected over here. Okay, I just have to change this name. Okay, then what should I do? Just have to change this name as with whatever name you want. Just save it, and this will automatically load. You don't have to rerun. Okay, and this will give you your name displayed on the mkdoc site. Got it? The next part is how we can uh, add the pages to the site. Like when you consider a website, you'll have to have the home page, the about us page, the contact us page. Okay, so how we can define that? In order to define this particular thing or the navigation, we have to write or do a setting in nav settings. Okay, so just copy this particular part and just go and type some code. What I defined is just a site name, Nilesh Dalvi, and the nav setting I have written. So this syntax is quite important. You don't have you have to give this space and then hyphen and then the name to be displayed colon the name of the file. Okay, if you can observe, this index file is there in the docs. Okay, but about.md is not there, but still it will show you this result on your and it will give, or rather it will warn you like a relative part to about.md is not included in the nav configuration. Okay, but still it will show you the result on your what you can say here. Okay, so what we have added is the name and then the welcome page and then the about page. Okay, if you can click on the welcome page, obviously this is the welcome page, which is nothing but the index.md. If you can just click on this about, obviously that page is not available, then this will show you a 404 not found error. Rather, we have not configured anything to show this 404 page not found error, but mkdocs automatically handles such errors or such things. Got it? Okay. Then the next part is what we have done so far is we have named our site and we have created the project, the pages structure. We just go here and see what next. Okay. The next part is, how we can apply a theme to our website. So you can, follow the official documentation into mkdocs.org. They have shown you a lot of options to, apply different theme. So few is like, read the docs, which theme like this way. This is mostly used for, the project documentation, and there are many other open source themes are available which can work with this MkDocs. But I'm applying this MkDocs material, which is nothing but material for MkDocs. Okay, so how to do that I'll show you. We just have to just copy this code, and that's it. So we have to again add like theme and then colon and the name of the theme. I have written this palette and this primary color. This is an again optional. Okay, so this is already loaded, and we'll just go and check what theme the MkDocs applied for our site. Okay. So this is the theme, which is nothing but a material design, which is applied over here, and you can see this transforms into. You can add here a logo. This is the name. This is the 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 name of the site, then welcome page, and then about page. You just again click here, this 404 not found error. So we have not applied any kind of CSS, JavaScript, and without applying such things, MkDocs handle a lot of things internally. Okay, and this will gives you right hand side the table of content where you can uh, whatever this syntax are shown over here in the right hand side. Okay, so that is the beauty of this MkDocs. We just go ahead and see what next we can do. Okay, so before designing the index page, we will do one more thing, like how we can add emojis to our website, that we will show here. So uh, before starting this session, I have shown you like we have to install some extension. So this is the extension for emojis we have to install. I'll just copy this and just put it below the theme. So this hierarchy should be maintained. Okay. So we have not added any kind of emojis, so it will not show you, but we can do that now while designing the emoji index page. So the next part is like how we can design the index page. Okay. So here we have to do whatever changes in the index.md file. Okay. So just let's go there and open index.md file. Okay. As of now, you can see the code which is there in the default code. You can see there's one extension where you can see how it look like on or the preview of your index page on the right hand side. Okay. So for that, you need to install the extension called as MkDoc, or rather Markdown lint. So here is the extension, or I have installed. So Markdown link for this Visual Studio Code. Okay, just go there, and you can see here. If I change here, welcome to Nilesh, Dalvi, it will automatically reflect here on the content. even though it will refresh your the web service, and it will serve you the recent output on your obviously the web page. Okay. Even you can go there and see. So this is the output which is reflected. Now just go and see or add our content. I'll just replace this particular part. Okay. And you can see the content which I have recently reflected is shown over here. So I'll just go through over here. This index.md uses, the markdown style or the documentation. So if you are not aware about this markdown style, there's a very good documentation the open source community have provided. So you can just go here and check this website for the this markdownguide.org, and in that basic syntax. So this will show you, how we can write the content in a markdown style and present it for the user. So here you can give the headings. This is similar to the HTML one. You just have to write hash for space followed by the content. That will reflected as h1 tag on your browser. Got it? Similarly, h2, h3, like h6, we can go ahead. Then alternatively, if we can use this particular part, okay. And so in short, this website will give you how you can start with the markdown. For paragraph, you don't have to write anything. It just you have to write the content, and then you have to just give enter. That's it, which will create two paragraphs for you. You don't have to write any p tag or anything. Okay. Then this line breaks, nothing. How we can bold? So for bold, you just have to write double asterisk. If you're aware about the WhatsApp styling, the bold and all, you'll be able to rather quickly grasp this syntax. Okay. For italic, only single one. Okay. If you want to display like this, obviously this will give you. And one more thing I want to show you is like how we can add, yes, the listing, like it's just writing a documenting like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. How we can add the code blocks, I'll show you that. Yes, here. So if you want to add, the code, then just go ahead with this sign, or there's one more style. I'll show you in my particular part. Okay. So in short, this is the Markdown guide for you. You can start over here. So what I have written over here is just a hash followed by the name, which is nothing but my website name or whatever content which I have to show, which will reflected over here. Then the sub heading, it can give like double hash space, uh, this thing, the name of the heading, and this colon smile colon. So whatever inserted in this particular colon, it's considered as the emoji name. Okay. So this preview is not enough to, we cannot show the, what I can say, the emojis over here, but we can reflect that thing on a web page. The next part is how we can add the image. Okay. So you can start with explanatory, then in this bracket, square bracket, you just have to write alternate text. Okay. And in a round bracket, you have to give the link or the path of, the image. Okay. The next part is the paragraph. You just have to write like this way, followed by I have added the emoji. Okay, and that's it. Means I have just followed like the emoji, and then I have written some text, and after all again emoji. Okay, so just go ahead and visualize how or preview this particular page on a website, how it looks like. Okay, so this is the page which I have designed just now, and which will show you the kind of uh, the things for you. Okay, now just go ahead and write some code snippet over here. So this will reflect as a code snippet, and if you want to write in Python, then you just have to type here Python, and then here we can say def hello, and then colon. Here you can write print. So this will reflect as it is. I'll just give subheading as code. Okay, and if you can just go ahead and see the output. Yes, this will show you on the page, and which will automatically allow you or rather the coding style. Okay, and if you can see here, the table of content is automatically created for this double hash, that is me, and the code over here. If you can just go ahead and click code, this will directly reflected over here. And this copy command, copy to clipboard, is automatically added when you add the coding code block. Okay, so I think, so this is the way we can create the website, or design different pages. You can go and add here pages, and you can add the content. You can apply custom css over here, which I have applied over here. If you can see here, so this is what the custom css which I have applied. uh, that is what the uh, when you get a basic understanding, you will obviously come to know how we can apply this custom css and all. So we'll see what is next. The next part is obviously build the website. Okay, so we have just now preview our website, we have not built it. Okay, so how we can build? So this mkdocs build command will help you, to convert your whole mkdoc style, what you can say, the website or documentation into html. Okay, and that html you can host it anywhere. Okay, on your personal web space, or any uh, any other platform, like what you can say, any cloud, or I'm going to show you today is the Netlify. Okay, so we just go ahead and build this website, and we just have to see what it is reflected. Before that, we have to just close this thing. It is saying shutting down. Just go ahead here and write mkdoc space build. This is building or converting the things into HTML. Okay, so if you can see on my left hand side here, this folder site is created, and in that particular site folder you can see these are the files created. So what I can say, this index.html is obviously the index.md, and the other supporting files automatically created with the help of just a one command. And this folder you can move it any web space, and you can just link your index page, and you'll go for your website. Okay. I'll show you how we can do that with the Netlify, and you can host your website there. So that comes in a deployment part. So deploy your website. We have just created or build our website into HTML. So to deploy your site on your private websites, you just have to move this site folder there, and you'll you'll done it right. How we can deploy this website on Netlify, that I'll show you. So before deploying it, we have to do some settings, uh, or to make it configurable to deploy it on your Netlify. So how we can do that? We have to add three files. Okay, so this requirement.txt, which will have the dependencies or packages required to package this website. Then a runtime.txt, which includes Python version which I have used for the development. So I have used 3.7 Python version 3.7. And this netlify.2ml, so which contains the site setting, like after deployment what I have to, or I have to run it. Okay, so in my case, if you can see here, in my case, this MkDocs, I mean, in the requirement.txt, I have to add these three libraries or packages which I have used for development. In the runtime, I'll add 3.7, and in netlify.2ml, I'll add this command MkDocs build, and the publish folder name is site. Okay, so this is the way we will just configure it. Just go ahead and configure this thing. So I'll create a new file in the same folder structures. Okay, so over here I'll just have to right click and create a new file with the requirement.txt. Okay, so this will open over here, which is blank now. We just go here and add these three things. You don't have to mention the versions over here. It will automatically get it from the web. So this is the first file I have created. I'll just close this part now. The next part is a runtime.txt. I'll add here 3.7, which is the version I have used. You don't have to add 3.7.6 or 5 or anything. You just have to mention only 3.7. If you're not given this runtime.txt file, then Netlify will understand there's no specific version, so it will go and install your whatever dependencies for Python 2.7. Okay, and maybe you'll get some error in that case, so it is better to add this runtime.txt file. Next is this netlify.2ml. This is nothing but a setting file. This is required to so this will understand, the Netlify will understand, like I have to run this mkdocs.build command, which will show you the site one. Okay, so we are done with the step number one. Okay, for the deployment we have configured these three files. Okay, now the next part is we can have like what you can say, So push our code, whatever code on either GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. So you have to create a account over here, and to merge you code to a master, and just deploy it. Okay, and then the next step, that is the last step we have to perform, is like how we can connect or Netlify, I mean the GitHub or GitLab or Bitbucket account with the Netlify. Okay, so I'll show you those steps. Okay, here I think this is now my structure is. I'll first go over here. This is my account for Bitbucket, which is I've already logged in. How we can create the new repository over here is just by clicking this create button. Then the repository, I have to select my workspace, then project. I've created a special project for this, like website, and the repository name I'll use mkdocs.test, and that's it. I'll mark this repository as a private because I don't want to share this with the public, and then just create a repository. So once this repository is created, you can see uh, the folders. There's no files in this particular, but there's one file called as git ignore file. So I'll come to this git ignore file. So before that, we just have to clone this. Like we have created a blank or empty repository on a Bitbucket, and we have to just clone it over here. So this will provide you one link, copy. So to clone this repository, we have just copied that particular file, and for that we need a Git, which is an open source for code version controlling. It's to be installed on your system. So I'll just check what version or whether it is installed on my system or not. So you can see here the Git version it is showing, that means it is installed on my machine. Okay, so I'll just paste that link. So you just have to write git space clone and then followed by the link of my repository. And I'm cloning that, into the same repository where my code is there. Got it? So I'll just do that. This will, fetch all the code on my machine, whatever repository code there on my machine. Okay, which is created. The new folder is created over here. And if you can see here, there's this a hidden folder .git, which has the information about what files to be staged and all. Okay, next part is we have to do one thing, just go over here. We just have to put all the files which we have created into this particular folder. Just copy this everything and put it in this particular folder. This is the step number one. And the thing we have to check is like the git status. Okay, sorry. It will be there in the MkDocs folder. Okay, so I am in the mk.-test folder over here, and then I'll check now the git status. So basically, this will give you the current status. So what I can say, as per the configuration file in the .git, it is showing like something untracked or missing, or we have to commit. Okay, before adding. So now we just have to, or rather before that, we have to just change this content of git ignore. If you observe, my docs is very important to ship as well as uh, this all files. But this site is can be generated on the server side. So we don't while deployment or while pushing the content on the repository, we have to avoid this site folder. Okay, and that can be written in this git ignore. So I'll just open this file here and replace the content with just a site. Save it. So this is change. Okay, it is showing this git ignore file is just now modified. Okay, the next part we have to do is like staging. Okay, the adding files to the what I can say, uh, to the git. Okay, so for that we have command like git space add space dot. So here what we are saying is like add all the files in this particular dot, means the current directory, to the git. Okay, so just go ahead and just run that command. And now we'll check the git status again. It is showing that yes, we have added the file, but we have not committed to it. Okay, so there's a best practice is like whenever you add some files to the git repository, it is best to commit it. Okay, so for that we have to use a command called as git commit -aim and then message. So I'm just uh, typing like, yes, this is my initial comment. So I'll just write init and space and then enter. Okay, which will show you like 6 files change. Okay, and this so what those it is docs, docs folder, mkdocs.yml, netlify.2ml, requirement and runtime. We have given like we have to ignore the site folder over here. Okay, so that's why that particular folder is not added on the git. Okay, now we have added everything. Just last thing we have to check is again the status. I'll just again check the status. Okay, it is showing like nothing to commit here. uh, you can go ahead with the git.push command. That means publishing our local commits to the repository, which from where we have uh, pull the content. So I'll just go ahead and type a command called as git push. So this will add the everything or the content from local to remote. Okay. So this is the file. This is the link where I can go and check the things. I'll just go here and refresh this particular part. Okay. So you can see here all my files are push to this mk.txt what you can say the repository. Okay, and you can see or visualize the files over here. Okay, hope this is clear to you. So what we have created, I'll just go back and see the steps again. So we have created a new repository, a blank repository on my Bitbucket count. Okay, and then I have clone uh, clone the content of my online repository to the local one. Okay, then I have stage all the files. So staging is nothing but adding the local files to the this particular repository, and I have push I have committed, I have, and then pushed whatever content to this again mkdoc.txt. So these are the steps uh, we have created. So we are done with now this pushing our content to a Bitbucket. Now the next part is we have to connect our Bitbucket account repository to the Netlify. Okay. So for that, you need to create, the account on this Netlify, which gives you, very good free offerings to deploy your personal websites or proof of concepts website or project documentation on this, netlify.com. Okay, you just have to create a login with your any, what you can say, the email ID. So I have created it. So the dashboard will look like this. Okay, so here you can see my the bandwidth I have used. So it will give you a free bandwidth up to 100 GB and build minutes up to 300 minutes. You can uh, we can build. Okay, so and these are the test website which I've installed or rather deployed over here. Okay, so just go ahead and deploy the current one. So when you visit the dashboard, obviously you'll see this button called as new site from Git. You just have to click on this, and then I have to select either GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. So I have created the account in Bitbucket, so I'll just have to select this. So this will automatically recognize because we have sign in other tab. So I have to select now which repository to deploy. So I'll just select this mk.test. The further setting is like yes. So these are the methods which we have written in the netlify.2ml file. So yes, I have to go ahead with this command, build command, as well as publish my site in the site folder. Okay, and then you have to just click on deploy site, which will start your deployment. Okay, and this will take some time to deploy, to do setting in the background, but you can see here. So it will show you the message called as site deploy in progress, and obviously initially it will create a random URL for you, but you can go ahead and change it in the site setting. I'll just go here. So the current URL is this. I'll just go and visit whether we'll see here whether it is deployed. Yes, you can see here the site is deployed in this particular URL. Okay, how we can change it? You just have to do some setting. So in my site setting, there's a setting called a change site name. So I'll just go here and change the name over here with say I'll see whether this is available. Save it. Yes. So this Dalvi. So my updated URL will be now ndalvi netlify.app. Just go here and check it. So this site is live over here and dalvi.netlify.com .app. You can go ahead and change your, if you have your personal domain like nileshdalvi.com, then you can add those setting into, your here, what you can say. I'll just go ahead. There's a command. Okay, you can configure your domain setting into into this particular block. Okay, and you can redirect your this URL to your nilesh.dalvi.com. So that is possible. That setting you can do, but you have to purchase that particular domain before doing the settings. Okay, and this is the free URL. That's why it will give you the available. This should be available on this particular site Netlify, and then only it will give you. Okay, so this is my end-to-end things which I have shown you in my last 1 hour, which is proposed. So I'll just go ahead and quickly give you the overview again. So we started here like yes, so knowing the MkDocs and Netlify, we have set up the Python as well as some libraries. Then we have created a blank site. Then we have seen the architecture or the folder structure. Then we have previewed that particular site over here with the help of mkdocs.serve. Then we customization, we have added the name of the site, then the folder structure or the page structure. Then we have themed that particular site. Then the markdown styling we have added, which is nothing but emojis. And we have design our first index page, and then we have built that site to a site uh, HTML one, and finally we have deployed that site. So before deployment we have to push the content to the Bitbucket or any version controlling site like GitHub, Bitbucket or GitLab. So we have done those steps, and then what I can say, yes, the site is now live at over here on this particular. So that is what the end-to-end thing I had to show you in this particular session. I think that's it. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and you can ask.